Hey. Oh man, have we got a lot to talk about? Man, yes indeed. Man, I'm gonna have to crack open a can and get into this. Now, those who have watched my channel today, he said that guy never on time. Dude, I hit the I punched it right on the numbers, and then it said, "Oh, change your stream to horizontal." So I had to go back, and they've changed, where everything is, and you know how it is, Gibson Les Paul. How's everybody doing? Yes, indeed, Gib. Always glad to have you here. We're starting out the chat right. I'm having a little Red Bull. We got to get into this. Oh, I'm so thirsty. I'm spilling it. Phoenix, what's happening? How's everybody doing? Glad to have you here. If you guys haven't seen my video today about the CC, Mark, dude, beyond belief. The Dave Navarro, Perry Farrell, Adam, what's happening? Ben, how you doing? Woo! Hold on. Woo! Beyond, what up, my dude? How you doing? Man. Grigori, how you doing, brother? Glad to have you here. Woo! So that crazy fight, Jane's Addiction last night. They were in Boston. And that is a scrappy town, man. Cheers, everybody. Big D, what's happening? Man, so this has been brewing over the years. It's amazing, the video I put out, it's called Jane's Addiction Meltdown. And that video is just going through the roof, so I'm expecting a lot of people. Oh, Mia and Lisa are watching. Hey, how you doing? Hi, Mia. Hi, Lisa. That video is going through the roof. It's blown up. And I got up this morning at 5 in the morning, and I saw a little clip. I was going to go back to bed maybe. Sometimes I get up at 5 a.m. and I work on the channel. But man, I got up. It was whack, CC. Yes, it was. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you. I'm glad to have you here. Man, I got up this morning and I looked on my social media and I see that fight and I just went, oh my God. And I just immediately, Grigori, all right, you're playing it fair. That's awesome. I immediately had to react to the Jane's Addiction situation. Oh my God. It took me back. There you go. Mia and Lisa are getting pizza. All right. Thank you, Adam. Man, it takes, when I see things like this, a lot of times, it can be hard to, come up with fresh topics and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden a meme hits or something hits and it takes me back in time. It was sad, Grigori. It takes me back in time and I just immediately man, I know what these guys are going through. I know what Dave was going through. I know what Perry's going through. I know how tough it is out there on the road. But at the same time, man, Perry Farrell is 65 years old, dude. Dude. If we were in LA, I'd just be going, dude, bottle. No, dude, put the wine down, bro. Dude. Man, somebody just posted, they Google Perry Farrell and Dave Navarro fight and your video populated second. Thank you, Stacy. Congrats. I subscribed to your channel, sending positive vibes. Man, I needed this. I hate to see these kind of things happen. So Big D is saying, I don't see them finishing their tour. Now, I read a rumor, and I don't know if one of you guys read this. You can let me know in the comments. But I read that the fight continued backstage. and that there were potentially some injuries. What's happening, Eric? If anybody has actually, Gib Les Paul, I think you were the one that posted that. Mountain Song. I don't even turn your lava lamp light on. It's on. It's just it's not extremely lit up at the moment. Maybe if I lower this down, if I just sit a little bit lower, maybe shift over to this side. Now you've got the lava lamp vibing. You've got that. Yeah, Mick, look, anybody could take that dude in a fight. I mean, look, and I've said this before, rock and roll fights are not serious fights. You know, I've seen from LA to Nashville to the Rainbow to the Roxy, the Whiskey. I've seen Lower Broadway. I mean, over the years, thank you, Stacy, thank you. Over the years, you know, fights have gotten more and more intense, and the art of fighting has really it's really gotten out of hand. I mean, it used to be guys square off and throw a couple punches, it'd get broken up, and that would be it. Kind of like what happened last night. I mean, he like threw an elbow, and then Dave kind of, I'll say this, Dave Navarro handled this as good as any human being could on this earth. Now, first of all, there are rumors that Perry is deep in his cups. And when I say deep in his cups, he is, you know, drinking. People were saying they were in the photo pit a few shows before and they smelled alcohol. There's all kinds of rumors floating around. Now, I cannot substantiate any of it, but I will say this, and I think it was Hunter Thompson that said, you can turn your back on a man, but never turn your back on a drug. And I interpret that as, if someone is on drugs, you watch every second. You watch them just like I'm looking at the camera right now. And Dave Navarro was literally watching his eyes just like I'm staring right now. He was looking him in the eye, and he was literally like just ready. Just ready to react as far as a defensive move. And when that second blow came in, Dave had his guitar on and he was still kind of playing. Like the crazy thing is he was ripping a cool solo, man. And look, front men have to realize this. Dude, you've got an amazing band. If you're hurting vocally, let him play that outro solo. Let the guys carry you. Perry Farrell likes to carry himself like this. He's this elite, you know, I am the Lord of the universe and all this kind of stuff. Well, you can do that, but you've got to learn to pace yourself, my dude. My dude. You've got to pace yourself, man. You're 65 years old. And I don't condone, you know, I don't tell anybody not to do anything or what to do. But man, maybe if you just want to, you know, get that trashed and be a jerk, maybe you need to just stay home then. Maybe you need to just stay home. Because man, it is a job. It's not an easy job being on the road. It is tough, man. And seeing that, I felt it, man. I felt it. I felt what was going on. I could feel the tension. Now, Adam is saying, and I mentioned this in the video, it could have been a stunt. The crazy thing is I looked at I've said, well, let me see how many dates these guys have left. Because, I mean, look, dude, if I was Dave Navarro, I would have literally looked at my calendar and go, I've got 8 more shows or I've got 10 more shows. Well, they've got tonight off. They got tonight off to pull it together. Look, man, if I was the road manager right now, they need a super tough and no-nonsense road manager managing this situation. And I don't know if Perry is just unmanageable, Yeah, food. It costs big money, Eric. You're absolutely right. It costs big money. And everybody, that crew is depending on it too. And they're seeing that guy go out and punch the guitar player he's actually playing good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what Dave Navarro was doing. Within the context of that band. I can't think of anybody playing that stuff better than him. And man, they got the original bass player. They got the original drummer. How many bands can say that? And look, if your voice is shot, man. I mean, I saw AC/DC, man, it must have been 15 years ago or maybe even 20 years ago. And it was the last tour, the Black Train or Black Ice or whatever that tour was with Malcolm Young and all that. And yeah, it was last night, Charles. Charles, this was last night. Yeah, someone said that it looked like Avery, who's the bass player, that he got some jabs in. Like they pulled him away from Dave, and from what I understand, there's a lot of bad blood between Perry and other members of the band. So much so that this was the first tour in 15 years with the original bass player, Eric Avery. And I guess, they've had some amazing bass players in that band, but man, Eric has the special sauce for this band, just like Dave Navarro has, and Stephen Perkins. Man, they really make that band. Like I've said before, Perry is an entertainer. He is not a singer. He is not gonna. He's not gonna go down to church and wow you with his rendition of "How Great Thou Art." He's a guy who gets out there and creates vibes and puts on a spectacle. And man, yeah, Keith, he was wild-eyed and out of control. It's just, I think he's frustrated. And I've said this in my video. I've been on stage with singers I have been at Araneta Coliseum in Manila, Philippines, one of my first arena gigs. We got this marathon show. And I'm not going to name the artist. It doesn't even matter at this point. But man, with the jet lag and all of that involved, 4 or 5 songs into the show, I could tell the singer's he's starting to have issues, and he's getting frustrated and more angry, and in that situation, we just kind of looked at each other, and this was retro music. So we just said, man, it was almost like telepathy or whatever it is. And we're just like, we're all like saying, and it's like we're the Beatles, and all of a sudden we're all just like singing along as loud as we can. Did they still get paid for that gig? Now, Big D, I think they did 9 songs. And I feel like the audience got a show. They might not have gotten a full show. Oh, somebody said Avery is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy. I'm telling you, man. X5, losing your voice and drinking heavily. Dude, it's out of control, dude. This should be a victory lap. This should be a victory lap for Jane's Addiction. All the singers got to do is waltz out there for an hour and a half each day and just sing enough, and step back and let that magnificent band be the magnificent band. But instead, he decides to pretend to play rock star at 65. Bro, dude. I mean, if it was my buddy back in the day, he'd be on the couch and I'd be going, dude. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And that's what, I got up this morning at 5:15 and I thought, dude, Tim Hardiman from CMT, everybody, dude. I mean, I was contemplating going back to sleep. And then I saw that. I just go, I'm on a mission. I've got to cover this story. This is something that I've been through. I've been there, dude. I've seen guys in their 20s lose their voice on stage. I've seen guys in their 60s lose their voice on stage, and I'm on stage with them. And it is not a fun situation. And the best thing you can do is just try and support them. But the way this band is set up, Jane's Addiction is almost like a spacey art rock jam band with the weirdo up front. I mean, that's the formula. That is the formula of Jane's Addiction. And so it's not, they can't just pretend to be the Beatles and start, love me do. They can't just all start singing along and carrying their brother, putting Jesus on the cross and carrying him up to the, up the hill. And I'm getting a craving to lick me some whipped cream. Okay, Tim Virgil, I don't know what the whipped cream, the whipped cream and other delights. Yes, wouldn't we all, to wash down the pizza. Again, dude. I mean, the imploring dude. There are so many dudes. Dude. But the imploring dude, like get your you-know-what together. I'm telling you, dude, if I was road manager, first of all, if I had to road manage these nuts, I'd have to have a mohawk, or I'd shave my head. I'd go into full Kurtz mode. Met Perry several years ago, and he was the coolest. I was stunned when I heard this news. But who knows what he's dealing with? That is true, Tim. Or dude, what the? Yeah, dude. Yeah, or dude. Dude. So Gibby Les Paul here. Wow, you're stoking. He man whispers today. Yes, I am man, dude. I am man whispering. I am the whispering bad Brad Anderson of formerly of Nashville, Tennessee. I'm telling you, man, this just got me so fired up. I'm just like, and like I said, dude, Dave Navarro handled this like a pro, but dude, he also handled it like an assassin. Because dude, when somebody's in your face and they're trying to harm you or strike you or something like that, you have got to stay focused. You don't blink. You look them right in the eyes so you can see when they do like that, they're going to throw here. And that second blow, he tilted his guitar in, and I think Perry might have hit the guitar, but I don't think he actually got any shots in on him. But from what people were saying in the video, is Eric Avery was over there, and somebody in the comments said he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, right? And I guess he was under there, and he's probably like, yeah, take that. Because, dude, it gets so frustrating. Gibbs says, hopefully some of the dressing room footage. Man, I would think if I was road manager right now, I'd be trying to get the publicist on top of this, get Perry to release a statement, apologizing. I'd have mandatory meeting today at I'd say 4:00 would be a good time. It's a day off. Let the boys sleep it off. They were wound up after this. You can't, dude. For one, if you play a huge show like that, which these guys are playing, nice medium-sized venues, and you're fired up as it is, dude. You don't need drugs or okay, have a Red Bull. I'm okay with that, but you don't need to get hammered to enjoy that. Should be his wife speaking for him. Yeah, Perry is lucky he never got the guitar stock to the face. He's very lucky, Dave. But I think Dave just handled this like a true pro, man. He handled it like a pro. But like I said, if I was road manager, it'd be me. Get the statement put out. Call Perry. He goes, dude, we're releasing a statement now. We're gonna finish this tour because you owe it. You owe it to your bandmates. You owe it to this crew. And I'm going to get a babysitter. You know, enough with the wife nonsense. You having Yoko Ono over there, and no offense to Yoko or women of any sort, but man, this is serious business. Somebody could have got hurt. Now the other thing that could have happened is the crowd could have got out of control, and the crowd started to boo. And the bass, I think it was the drummer, came out, and he was kind of like, put his hands up and kind of turned it into an applause. Like, look, you got a show last night. If I was in Boston, I saw that show, I wouldn't have left. Disappointed, because I really feel that, you know, there's some hilarious comments in here. Big D, I've had drummers throw sticks at me too. I've had that. I have had that happen. Handled like a pro on stage. So somebody said, Dave handled it like a pro, but you know, I'm not even sure. I think he was so disgusted. You saw how he took his guitar, and it's a nice PRS guitar, and he took that guitar and he just placed it down on the stage and just kind of, you know, made sure they calmed the crowd down. The three band members came out, and one guy flashed a peace symbol. They were like, you know, like, and then gave the, you know, thankful thing, like prayers, and you know, waved goodbye. It was an absolute travesty that this happened. Sometimes things like this have to happen in order for things to change. Dude, Perry Farrell, you're 65 years old. Look, I'm not going to tell anybody not to do anything, and I get it. You're an artiste, and you know, I sometimes feel like I got to reach back on the amp and grab an energy drink or a sparkling water or something, or a cough drop or whatever. But man, you do not need to be getting deep in your cups. Adam said he blew a gig because he got too drunk. We learned that lesson, all of us, in our 20s. We learned that lesson. Dude, I can't say that over the 40 years of me playing music, there were nights where I started to feel like, whoa, I've had a few too many beers, and I'm kind of doing this. And at that point, I shut it down and just focus and finish the gig, you know, and it's a dangerous thing. But man, when you're 65, dude, and you're drinking all day, that's just absolutely insane. I never did that, even when I was a drinker. It's like, you know, do we have a troll in here? Do we need somebody? What's going on there? You guys let me know. I'm not the best moderator, but I'm not going to tolerate any nonsense. So Joey, behave yourself. Yeah, somebody says they'll be fine in 3 days. Well, they've got 1 day to pull it together. So like I said, if I was road manager, mandatory meeting today at 4 o'clock, I'd sit everybody down and I'd say, first of all, I want everybody to listen. And you give them, you could be his brother. I could be Will Ferrell, Stacy, and I will be your Will Ferrell today. Yes, I will. That's what I'm here for. I would say, look, guys, listen up. We got a hardworking crew here. We've got a talented band, a legendary, iconic band, and we're going to finish this tour. But you know what? Dude, Navarro. But let me tell you something. We have got to pull it together. And you sit down and say, look, Perry, I'm getting you a minder. They did this with Steven Tyler back in the day. They've done this with rock stars for years. They keep them from harming themselves. Keith said he threw a drumstick. Yeah, when you were 16. It's just not, dude, it's not worth it. I must have missed some kind of drama. Aaron, you missed a big Jane's Addiction fight, but we're all kind of talking through this today. But man, I'm telling you, I could, Dwayne, what's happening? Every player should respect the art and performance of the rest of the band. A person's drinking, drug, and rock star attitude should not F up the art and performance. Dwayne, you have nailed it. You have nailed it to the wall. Like, what was the dude who accidentally went live on Instagram? You nailed that, bro. You nailed that. I mean, dude, yeah, don't do it. Get that. Look, you gotta. I would say finish the tour, man. Get him, reel him in. Stacy said, excited that Marilyn Manson is back and looks greater than ever. Okay, well, let's hope, because he's another guy that was pretty unpredictable on stage. Sales were slipping. They need this. Now, I wouldn't, a good old wrestling style WWF dust up where nobody really gets hurt and all this talk all of a sudden hit. I mean, dude, if they were playing in my town tonight, and I saw this morning tickets were $11. I'm like, dude, I'll buy 5 tickets at $11. I mean, yeah. And Dave Grohl's been busy this week, but I don't know, man. This is crazy. I'm going to have a little. That is absolutely delicious. I tell you what, man, this is one of the crazy, heck yeah, it is. Yeah, so I haven't heard the new Marilyn Manson. I don't even really follow these bands anymore. I watch what I watch, and rock stars being rock stars. Yeah, it is the classic rock star thing, but it's like, dude, at this point in your career, it should be the victory lap. It should be the semi-speedy around Earl, what's happening late again. That's all right. We're glad to have you. Toro, more Red Bull. Yes, indeed. John 5 was going through something traumatic. Yeah, him and Marilyn Manson got into it way back in the day. Yeah, Nick, yeah. Now is everybody going to have on-stage fights? Wait till the Oasis guys get back on the road, right? Are we, is anybody into that? I mean, I never really could get into Oasis because the guitar playing just wasn't, it wasn't that good. Grohl doing what super rich rock stars have always done. Oh yeah. Yeah, I bet your wife got mad at that, Dwayne. I don't even tell. Well, my wife is the one that told me about that. Yeah, I went for the big bull today. Yes, the big can, because I knew people were going to be fired up about this. Now we've got 27 people in here. We need to smash that like button. Jimmy Hunter, what's happening? I got a little something for Jimmy Hunter right now. Woo! Woo! Yes, indeed. Frosted likes Oasis. I like a few of their songs, and I like that they're playing their instruments. But okay, so who's gonna be in the Oasis band? Didn't they have a guy named Bonehead? That was the other guitar player. And didn't they have a drummer that they said couldn't play? And who was the bass player in the early band? There's something to be said about, Tim, what's happening? There's something to be said about, bands having that terrible drummer and that weird bass player and the chemistry of putting these divergent DNAs together that creates a certain sound. But I'm imagining Oasis is going to be the two brothers and whoever they decide to hire, right? Anthony Moon, what's happening? So yeah, I don't see. They had from right at a certain point. Got some watermelon, Red Bull chilling for later. Yes, indeed. Woo! Woo! Got 101 in here. Let's get the thumbs up. Let's get the smashing. We got so many musicians. Dude, Mark. Big P. Yes, indeed. We need that good medicine. Last night, Perry Farrell took too much of the bad medicine. Ric Flair has entered the chat. Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe one day I can land an interview with Ric Flair. That would be incredible. My wife gets mad when I watch the 30 for 30 Ric Flair episode. What is this? Arteo. This is Music Chat. We've been talking about the Jane's Addiction fight last night. We're talking about Oasis. We're talking about music. We're talking about guitars. We're talking about show business. And we've got a whole bunch of cool musicians in the chat. Man, stick around. Buckle up. Get a Red Bull. Join us. We're having a good time. Bon Jovi talked a woman off a bridge. Oh man, this has not been, and I gotta dial my wig in, bro. My wig is like totally off, bro. It's totally off today. Got to meet Ric Flair. All right, very cool, CC. Man, if Ric Flair could just have the same bleach blonde look, if all of us could just not age. If we could all just stay. Alexander, thank you so much. A couple years ago, cringe as hell with burlesque dancers. I hear you, Alexander. That's it could be cringe for some. Some of us might enjoy the burlesque dancers, but I get it. Alexander, thank you so much. Thank you. You were literally Arteo, go check out my video. It's called Jane's Addiction Meltdown. It's blowing up right now. I document the whole thing. People complain about Lars Ulrich's drumming, but he was perfect for that band. You know what? He was perfect for that band, Dwayne. But yeah, he's not the best metal drummer out there, anymore. I mean, the thing people keep getting faster feet and quicker hands and more precise, but he's the right guy for that band. I absolutely agree. They couldn't have if they put a good drummer in Metallica, it wouldn't be Metallica, right? So yeah, Bon Jovi rescues a woman in Nashville. Perry Farrell, Gibson Guitars puts out the Victory guitar. They take a dud from the past and they put that out. And I mean, I would like to play one, but I don't want to spend $2,000 on that, dude. I've got Super Strats. So, like, what would I do with that? It wouldn't serve any purpose, My buddy told me, dude, just walked off the stage and quit. Seriously? Wow. Well, it was a fight. It was a fight, Arteo, last night. He actually, threw some blows at the guitar player. Yeah, go check it out, man. Complete meltdown. He was freaking out. The bass player grabbing him, and he was throwing some body blow. He was getting some quick jabs. Those MMA guys, man, they know how to throw those quick and it's like Perry probably didn't even know what was happening, but he probably hit him right. Mark, thank you so much. Dude, I need $1.99, bro. Dude, this would be me knocking in the 80s, knocking on my roommate's door. Dude, need $1.99, bro. Dude, I need $1.99. Dude. Thank you. It helps, man. Every little bit that people chip in the super chats and the super thanks, it really does keep this channel going, keeps my wife from saying, quit wasting your time. You need to do this. So Thank you. Thank you so much, man. When I can get up in the morning and see something like this has happened in the news cycle and comment on it and give my perspective as somebody that's been out there. Now, I'm not Dave Navarro. I'm not Perry Farrell. I'm just Bad Brad, who was a side man and played in hair bands in the 80s and, and all that kind of nonsense and played cover bands and weddings and did studio sessions. I've done every kind of gig that you can think of. I've even rapped. Okay, so I when I see these things, dude, I know exactly what's going on. It triggers me. It literally triggers me to see this because I see Perry in the state that he's in and how agitated he's. Dude, Big D, this is therapy for me talking through it. Because I felt like Perry on stage and had that anger and just, but then I've also been Dave Navarro where the anger's directed at me and I'm having to stare somebody down and quickly switch from being creative, playing, right? And then all of a sudden someone's trying to kick your, you know what, and you've got to totally pull yourself out of that third realm that you were just in, playing your spacey lead guitar, which Dave Navarro was doing, and then think of self-preservation. Because, man, anything can happen. And Brad, I used to be called MCB, but that was short for, and I won't repeat it, but I was in a group called Rap Necks. If you want to hear, Chillin' Hillvillain was my battle rap, if you want to hear that. Just for a laugh. Anybody curious out there? But I'm a guitar player, man. I'm not a singer. I'm not a rapper. But dude, if the phone rings and somebody says, hey man, come over and do this, and I'm looking at my calendar going, man, I don't have a whole lot going on right now, I'd go over there. Anthony says he should have swung his guitar at him. But dude, it was totally sweet PRS, bro. It was totally sweet PRS, bro. Don't do it, bro. Bro, don't do it. Bro, sweet PRS, bro. Yeah, was it a 10 top? I don't know. It almost looked like it was flat black. But now PRS, hey, Paul Reed Smith, if you're listening, put out the Dave Navarro Fisticuffs signature custom 22 or 24. There's your marketing. A perfect replication of the guitar that took a blow from Perry Farrell, replete with all sweat marks, booze stains. Big hype, no big deal. That's what Domino says. Whew. Man, I tell you what, it's crazy. It's crazy. Arteo says his music will drive you mad and you'll enjoy it. With bare knuckle pickups. Is that what Dave Navarro uses? Bare knuckle pickups? Man, I tell you what. Dave Navarro should have a signature PRS. Why not? Yeah, he should. I think that Dave Navarro is a good guitar player, man. I think he's got his thing that he does, and I'm much more interested in this than Oasis. Oasis was kind of the generation after, what I was following. Oh, Mark says he does have a PR SIG, but I don't think you can buy it now. I think he had it in the past. What would be cool is to have a Navarro SE that they put out, a limited edition, 1,000 pieces, sell it with a case that says Jane's Addiction of it or Navarro or something on it. and donate some of the proceeds to domestic violence. Right? Hey, these companies, man, Gibson, PRS, Fender, call me. You want to know what to do? I'll tell you what to do. Gibson, I would never advise Gibson to put out the Victory. If Cesar called me up and goes, dude, I know you've been harsh on us, and but you seem to be on the pulse of what's going on with Gibson guitars. What should I put out a Victory? I'd be like, no, dude, no, bro, don't put out the Victory, bro. $2,000 for a Gibson Super Stratty double humbucky thing. Nah, bro. Nah. No, you could put out an Epiphone version. It's just, these companies, these bands, it's easy to sit back and be the Monday morning quarterback. Just like watching your football team on Sunday and going, here's what you need to do. But man, here's the deal. If you've lived it, just like these players that have commentary on, when you've got experience, and I've got experience, Alexander, now I will agree with you, the Iguana Burst does look insane. If I thought it was worth the extra $500 for not a very nice top. Gibson just does not, here's another thing, Gibson, listen to me. Cesar, PRS is selecting their woods better than you are. They are sourcing their woods better than you are. If you buy a PRS, you're getting a better top on your guitar, whether it's a SE or a S2 or whatever. And so when Gibson tells you you're getting a double A top or a triple A top, not always, bro. They're not very consistent. Some are good. Yeah, and how to create 10K Les Pauls, someone just said. He's not listening. You're right, Alexander. He's not. Look, every business. Okay, John Q is saying that he's a high notes and tell me Perry's not a great vocalist. Hey, if you think he's a great vocalist, then more power to you. But he's not in the traditional sense. Yes, he hits high notes, and that's his kind of thing. But would I hire Perry Farrell to sing on my gospel album? Would I hire him to sing? Now, you know what? He might actually be able to do the Frank Sinatra thing. He might actually be able to do that because that's more of like a talking kind of thing. But he's not a great vocalist in the traditional sense. If you think what he does, like Mick Jagger is not a traditionally great vocalist, but I like his styling that it's kind of a, he's trying to be a bluesman, but Mick Jagger's trying to sound like an old black guy, but let's see, Perry never sang all that well. Yeah, I mean, most people enjoying your playing, watching your videos. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, everybody. We've got people who have become members of this channel, the Rockstar level. Now I'm starting to put videos out and put them in the Rockstar level. And there's a Guitar God level above that. And that actually includes like a Zoom meeting or lesson or just a hang or a consultation or whatever you want it to be. But that's included in that price. But we've got people at the Blues King level, people at the Rockstar level, and then the top level Guitar God. Thank you to everybody who has become a member, taken a chance on this channel. Because, man, this is still in the beginning stages of this channel, and each one of you out there are helping me build this thing. And I really, really appreciate it. How do you get to be in the Rockstar level or any level? Go to the, my channel page and you'll see the members area, and there'll be a way to sign up as a member. And you click on that, and then you can select which level you want. And through that, you can pick the different levels. Now, we don't have anybody at the Guitar God level. And frankly, I'm so new at this YouTube thing that I'm trying to get more material out. And I put a lot out extra for the members. The members get to watch a lot of videos before they get released. But like this morning, this Jane's Addiction mayhem, this all had to be put out. I filmed it at 5 this morning. I quick chop, edit, make a thumbnail, create a description, write this, write that, and boom, put it out. And when it came out this morning, it hadn't even completely processed to 4K. Surfing USA says it's a publicity stunt. It's an ingenious one if it is. But if he's really wasted, I don't think it is. And people in the comments, that's what's so amazing about this channel, is I had a bunch of people that were at the show last night, and they were saying something was off with him all night. I've had people comment from other shows, along this tour, and they all pretty much saying the same thing. So, I mean, look, dude, here's the thing. I don't follow them. I just can't understand somebody being 65 and trying to rock star it up like that. Dude. Say, as your rabbit says, it's not a stunt. He did. Look, what's happening, Absur? Dave says he would have replaced him with a random homeless guy. Oh, wow. I'll tell you what, coming soon. Perry's always been off. That's the power of Perry. Okay. Woo! I got to recharge, man. This has had me fired up since 5 o'clock this morning. It's been a busy news week. Like I said, Gibson puts out the victory. Oasis is going on tour. Bon Jovi saves a woman in Nashville from, and here's what's shocking to me, the Bon Jovi thing. This woman was like 62 years old. My wife told me 62. I'm like, I get it, you're 62, but I think of like young people really struggle with that to that point. And they don't know how they're going to get through the future. But I feel like at 62, you figure time's going to catch up with you anyway. So you might as well ride it out. Azure says, did you see the bass player take 2 or 3 uppercuts? Yeah, we've talked about that in this. Man, this is a crazy situation. And now, so that's an important point. I've talked about also working the pit in an Ozzy show and how, thank you. Yes, indeed. We have 6.43 subscribers. We're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Right? I hope I don't. What am I going to get? Copyrighted infringement for my destroying of the Jefferson's theme? I certainly hope not. It really wasn't that. I had to pick. I kind of picked my key about halfway through, and it was the baritone version. And here's the thing, man, about that dude getting those blows in. Tensions build. You're in a situation like this. And just like when I worked the pit at that Ozzy show, and people were coming over the rails, and they're swinging, and the first couple guys, you kind of ignore it, and you just grab their limbs and bring them over. And then pretty soon, 2 more guys are doing it, and 2 more guys, and you start seeing they've got angry looks in their face when they're coming over at you with that security thing on your shirt. And then all of a sudden, you start finding you're grabbing their hand much firmer and much tighter, And as it keeps continuing and keeps continuing, you get angrier and angrier till finally, towards the end, you're grabbing guys and you're wrenching their arm behind their back, and you're like, ugh, because it's like you're dealing with that pressure of people like coming at you and trying to attack you. And if Eric Avery was holding in animosity that he had dealing with this guy, look, dude, this didn't just happen last night. This has been going on for a while from everybody that says it. They've been following this. Now, somebody just said, I think it's a stunt. But dude, is it a nightly stunt? Because apparently this guy has been off the rails consistently and getting worse. Maybe look, here's how it starts. You start, the tour with, crack open a bottle of wine, drink a half a bottle of wine. Oh, we're good. And then it's the next night, it's 3/4 of a bottle of wine. And then the night after that, it's a full bottle of wine. And then somebody says, oh, I've got some of this. This will keep you awake. And so, look, you don't even have to be a drug addict at this point. He could be just on some ADHD or something medication. He could be just some ADDERRALL that he would be jacked up on. And that combined with a full bottle of wine and days and days and days on the road, and the aggravation of dealing with each other and smelling each other and all the nonsense. Well, look, Surfing says it was a METH problem. But the reality is they got prescription stuff that's the same. It gives you the same, feeling. So somebody said, Perry and Dave laughing right now into the next show. Tickets selling now. Well, look, if this is a stunt, then it's going to work. Yeah, they were just in Tampa a couple weeks ago, and I didn't even know, man. I'm like the last guy that's following who's in town and what. I will only, if I think that, a band's coming to town and there's certain things like the Led Zeppelin with Jason Bonham was supposed to be playing, somewhere here in Tampa, right? And I thought, man, my daughter is young, but she likes going to these rock concerts. That would be cool for her to hear the songs, the music of Led Zeppelin by somebody from that bloodline. And, but the venue is 21 and up, so we can't go. So if I can't take my family and my daughter, I'm not going. And if it's not a family-friendly, thing, which this certainly is not, I wouldn't want to take my daughter to see some guy hammered off his what and starting fights. That's just not something, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Now we've got 107. This is the record for how many people we've had in here live. We need to get that thumbs. I want to get 100 thumbs up. I'd like to get 200 people in here. We're going to keep this party going. This really has everybody fired up. And I tell you what, I'm thankful for everybody here and that we can talk this through. Everybody's got an idea of what's going on, and a lot of people in this chat here, a lot of them have the experience. They've been on the road, they played in bands, so they know this can be volatile. It can be a volatile world. Delicious. 105, and that's no jive. Step aside, son, because I got to stay alive. Woo! 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 Man, I tell you what, The wagon. Somebody said Perry is not off the wagon is dragging him. Look, man, if you're gonna dance with Mr. D, right? Like the Rolling Stones song, Dancing with Mr. D. Sometimes Mr. D's gonna drag you out on that dance floor, whether you want to dance or not. Mr. D's gonna say, "Hey, fool, come here." And you go, "But Mr. D, I don't feel like dancing right now." And Mr. D's gonna say, "I don't care what you feel. It's time to start dancing with Mr. D." Woo! So, man, you know, this is, somebody just asked, have I ever punched a band member? Man, I don't think I have. Now, I've had, hit the like and subscribe. Thank you, Big P. Look, bands have come to blows. I've had moments where I'm, but these rock and roll fights, it's one punch and the thing's over. So that's not a fight, dude. It's just tempers flaring. But we hate to see it get to that point where somebody's trying to strike somebody. It's just not cool, man. It's not cool. It's not cool at 65. It's understandable at 25 when you got so much testosterone and there's all this nonsense. Had your band play so loud, you blow your voice out. Of Ray Charles yelling at the audience or his band member calling him a dog on stage. I have not heard that. Or what about the Buddy Rich chewing out his band on the bus? Has anybody ever heard that? That's a classic. Calling them all amateurs and stuff like that. And Buddy Rich was a badass dude, badass drummer. But man, he would tear his band. Jimmy, you've heard that. He would tear his band up. He would, Trogs tapes. Look, this is an interesting subject. And look, we've been going for about an hour on this. And people, need to know that there is a long history of bands not getting along and things and fights and all kinds of stuff going on. Somebody said Corey Feldman confront Jane's addiction. Roy, all right, you're going up to Kentucky. Have a good gig tonight. Everybody say hello to Roy Vogt, esteemed bass player and educator in Nashville. Yeah, I mean, look, man, you're brothers, and brothers fight, and you're living in close quarters, and, there misunderstandings happen. I've talked about being on stage. It is like you're in the heat of battle. When you're on stage and you're trying to direct somebody or tell somebody, hey, or even, hey, man, this dude's about to whip a bottle at you. Like, I'm watching this guy right now. The only way that you can get their attention is to yell. So emotions can get very, very testy because the person you're yelling at might think that you're yelling at them, but really you're just like, dude, watch out, or dude, we're going to cut out the bridge. We're cutting out the bridge. Or dude, we've got to, sometimes if the crowd is having a fight, if there's a fight in the crowd, sometimes you have to stop playing. Sometimes the band has to stop so that they can get the situation under control and then start to show up again. I've had that happen where, dude, if we'd have kept playing, people would have it just would have kept going. But the silence calms a crowd down. Music can really fire people up, and that's me watching this fight this morning. It fired me up. It takes me back. I feel all the feels, what the kids say today. It makes me feel some kind of way. That made me feel some kind of way. Speaking of Buddy Rich, 90 minutes, 17-piece big band concert tonight. So see, we've got everybody. We've got all kinds of musicians in this chat. You got a guy headed to a gig with a 17-piece big band. And I hope I would be, look, if I had to do that gig, Roy, I'd be glued to that sheet music like a fly on you know what. I would have my head buried. You wouldn't see the whites of my eyes till the end of the gig. And I'd be like this. Right? Dude, you came at the wrong spot. Or dude, we gotta pull it. There's a fight. You know, the communication on stage can be a tough thing. Now I'm gonna go and get another caffeinated beverage or something. I think it's time to re-up and continue this party. We've got all the artwork, Mia's artwork, now displayed for everyone to see. I'm gonna go in here. We're gonna get one more of these little small ones, just a half. I'm not gonna finish this one, but we're going to continue this discussion because this is absolute madness. It's absolute insanity. And I don't know, it just stirs up so many emotions. Let's see what this green tea. Mia's art is awesome. Would you recommend new players who read should spend a couple years playing on a cruise ship? That's a good question, Dwayne. Who want to read, who read. I don't know how much reading cruise ship guys are doing now. Do they still have gigs like that with the fly specs? As a guitar player, I was never good at reading they call them fly specs, the little dots on the page. Chord chart, I don't have any problem with that. Jazz, whatever. And what I would do if they gave me the book, here's the book, all the little written out sections, I'd go through them slow, learn the fingerings of it. But if I had to sight read it, man, that would be something else. Anthony is on his second Monster. I don't condone these high levels of caffeine, but we're getting the message out there right now. 62 minutes in. Thanks to everybody that has chipped in on the super thanks, the super chats. I've never had an energy drink. CC, that is amazing. I like tea. Tea is my jam during the week. This is okay, but so Big D just asked a question, and he says, ever not want to do a show but ended up playing your best? The crazy thing about being a musician and being a player is the fact that sometimes I would, have a week where I would work out, I'd eat right, I'd get sleep every night and think, man, I'm gonna have this amazing show. I've been practicing all week. And then you get on the gig, and it's not there. Everybody else is like, oh, that sounds great, bro. But in your heart, it's not there. And then there are those times where you might be a little deep in your cups, and you may have not slept as much as you wanted to, and maybe didn't stick to a very good diet during the week. And you get on stage and you're thinking that you're going to just tank. And then you get up there and it just, the heavens part and all of these things. So, I just think it's best to just try and always be consistent, because the highs and extreme lows, that's not a good way to sustain a career. A good way to sustain it is be consistent and know that every time you show up, you're gonna do a consistent job. Sometimes you know when you're like this, and sometimes it's just absolutely incredible, and then other times it's there ain't no life nowhere, dude. Woo! Yes, indeed. Oh, we've got to get a little attitude adjustment. Yes, we do. How's everybody doing in there? We got 93 bad Brad. So what sort of gear are you using for video, audio when making your vids? And how do you record your guitar playing when making vids? All right, Freddie. Now, Freddie, those are kind of my inside secrets, if you will. And normally that would be a question that would be only reserved for super chats, sir. Only reserved for the chats of the supers, my man. But man, look, here's the deal. What you're watching me on right now is my phone. You're watching me on my Apple iPhone 12, and I just turn it on, and I got my wall with a couple posters and a little flashy guitar thing and my lava lamp right there. And that's it. That's it. Now, the only thing that you have to do when I do put out videos where I'm playing guitar is I film the video with my iPhone, but then I record the audio into my computer with my DAW, and then I take the video, put it in the editor, take the audio, line it up in the editor, pull down the video, the audio that's coming from the video, and then you've got perfectly recorded audio underneath. And you know, that's how I do it. This is why my channel is doing well and continuing to do well, because there's not a lot of trickery. I'm not doing a lot of treachery. I said this the other day. My wife had to go into the office, so I knew I had a 2-hour window. So I shot a bunch of playing clips, right? And so basically, I would like do a couple tracks, but I wouldn't get time to do multiple passes, because if I get through one pass without my daughter going, I need you to do this, or dad, do this or do that. So I literally like would do a pass, and there was one time, and I saw the video, you could see my daughter's head like come into the room, and she's kind of like looking at me, and I'm trying to play, and I'm hoping like, okay, I hope I can still use this, take, because she's literally see the top of her head kind of like walk underneath it. I don't have a lot of time to do multiple passes. I have to get decent takes like that, and I have to live with it, and I have to be, you know what? It's what I can do for now. Now, when she eventually goes to school, I'll have more time, and I'll be able to do more editing, and I can step up the process. But here's the thing, man. People want reality. We live in a world with AI and fake this and fake food and fake this and fake, whatever. People want reality, and that's why this channel is doing the way it is. See, Jimmy Hunter is correct, though. I am an AI-generated YouTube personality. Woo! Real is real, Big D. I agree, man. Look, it's not been easy. Someone said their gig tonight is canceled. 3rd in a row, singer has COVID. Man, that sucks. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm thankful to have you here. Dude. So, man, I don't know if anybody else has got any other questions. We've been on here for 69 minutes. You mean your singer has the cold? I hear a lot of people coming down with COVID all over the country. Man, people are just sick in general, man. People get sick. It sucks. If you're a singer, man, you've got to take care of yourself. It's why I never wanted to be a singer, because, man, you can lose your voice, you can get sick, and your phone is good. Mia in the videos is perfect. Thank you, CC. Thank you. Look, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep this phone as long as it will work, and I'm gonna make my content with this phone. If I eventually have to get another phone, then I'll just have two different angles. I'm gonna be able to do close up and do one far away or something like that. But I like this, the way that I do videos. I shoot the videos on the phone. I airdrop them over to my computer. I chop up what little bit, tiny bit of editing that I do, put a title on it, put a thing, and boom, that's it. And it's a fast process. Like this morning, being able to get out the video about the Jane's addiction situation, getting up at 5 a.m. And every morning at 8 a.m., I put out a new video. We've got the Breakfast Club. A lot of the guys that are here today, I see them in the morning. We chat every morning in the thing. Dude, Freddie, I have GoPros. I have it. I have another 4K camera, but man, it's so easy for me to just airdrop it from the phone that I'm trying to eliminate steps. Because like this morning, getting this out and having to shoot it, edit it, do the thumbnail, all of that, and put it out at 8 a.m. this morning. You realize it had finished uploading, and at 7:24, it said it needed another 70 minutes to get up to 4K, whatever that's called. And I knew when the video aired at 8 a.m., it wasn't going to be completely in 4K because it hadn't completely rendered to that. How many gigs is the average rendering? Most of these videos are like 4 or 5 gigs. The hour-long one that I shot yesterday was 19 gigs. I'm using lots and lots of storage. I have storage, I buy these 4 terabyte storage units, and I'm constantly taking video off my hard drive and putting it on there. The storage is a major, major factor in doing this because I'm creating content every day. Thank you, Azure. It's already up to 13K. I wish you would get up to 100K today, dude. Jimmy, you have a better iPhone than I have. I think mine is a 12. It does have the 3 cameras on the other side, but because when I started I'm using the camera, not using the 3 lens thing. I'm just using the face. That way I can monitor and do that. I feel like I get better results if I can actually see what I'm shooting, because I've used the other side and the better camera, but not gotten the right shot or seen where I was in the shot. And so I'm just rolling with what works for me now. It's all about getting it out quick. And even this morning, I was 5 in the morning, I'm having brain farts. Okay, what do I need to do? Okay, oh yeah, I need a thumbnail. And what's the title? I had come up with the title. It has to be rendered by YouTube to 4K. Even if you shoot in 4K, they take your upload and then it says rendering to 4K. So YouTube does its own compression, its own system. So I'm not even sure if me using this front-facing camera that I'm in 4K, but I think the quality for what it is good enough at this point in time. And until it warrants me spending $1,000 on a camera and getting a big ring light and improving it, right now it doesn't warrant that. It warrants me working my butt off and pumping out these videos. One, because we got all these loyal people every day that join me every morning. And man, when things like today happen with the Jane's addiction thing, I get fired up, and dude, like people have said in this is therapy for me. This is therapy for you. And I'm hoping maybe those guys will listen today. Maybe Dave Navarro will click on my video and see what went down, and my comment, my perspective on it is crazy. Let's hope, Amos, that they get it together, that they figure it out and act like adults. Therapy for you. They did what you dreamed of doing. Getting yourself a green room. Do I need a green room, Gib? Now here's the thing, man. This is my office. This is my studio. This is what I work out of. I've got way too many guitars for this space. Way too much stuff for this space. And I have to just I have way too many things on my wall. I mean, I am not a master YouTuber, but man, at this point, I think people they just want the real. Green wall, green sheet. I don't know that putting up a green screen, it looks fake, right? It looks fake. I could definitely do better with the placement, but then like I've done times where I shoot against a blank wall and people go, well, I like seeing that guitar and I like looking at your posters. So, I think people like looking at that. Having a wig is fake enough. I know. I mean, dude, having this wig, and I don't care that it's sewed into my scalp. See, I am one of the first people that was able to actually get my wig sewn in, and it only gets infected a little bit. Like my scalp only gets completely welted, and somebody says they like looking at EVH. I like looking at EVH. I miss that guy, man. Hate it. It must have been expensive. Gib, you don't know how expensive it was. They had to sew that thing into my brain. Where'd you get that EVH pick? I think I got that off of Amazon. It's a poster, and it wasn't too expensive, maybe $10. And then I bought the frame separate and just threw it in a cheap plastic frame. Kind of like that Struts poster. I like that too a lot. I like this Whipped Cream and Other Delights album cover. And I got one of my old band flyers there, the Boy Elroy headlining the Whiskey. I was like, you know what? I've got all these things like loose and they're not protected. I'm like, man, I need to put a frame on some of this stuff just so I'll have it, you know? But man, we got 74 people in here, 87 likes. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. We're having a good time. I work for A&M. Remember seeing that there. It's such an iconic album cover. The Herb Alpert thing. Yes, it is, Freddie. So I don't know. What else do you guys want to talk about? Should we keep going, or do I just wrap it up and start working on? I want to tell you this though. Fighting on stage is so unprofessional, Brian says. So tomorrow morning, I've got an epic interview debuting at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be 5 a.m. on the West Coast. It's an interview with my old drummer in my band, Boy Elroy. Can I get yeah. So I got an interview with my old drummer, Bob Nellis. It's not really it's not like a formal interview. It's more like a conversation with a friend. And it's an awesome, over an hour long interview where we just look, dude, I'll give you a little tidbit. My man came to Los Angeles, and the first band that he played with in LA, the lead singer ran an escort service right in Hollywood. So you need to hear this interview. This dude, he was a pimp, but he was the only white guy in a funk R&B band playing in Hollywood. And he wanted to play that. It's like he was a young, naive, college-age kid. And he wanted to play funk. He wanted to play Tower Power. He wanted to play R&B. And the way he get in this band, and he goes, the singer goes, yeah, well, I run this escort service here. And it didn't even register with him because he was a UCLA student. But now he realizes, hey, that guy was, running an escort service. But at the time, he's like, dude, I just wanted to play that music. And that was the world that I had to play it in. And so flow went well. Great listening while doing stuff around the house. Thank you. Azure, thank you. So you're a member, Azure. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that. It's an amazing interview. It airs tomorrow. Yeah, Freddie, I was trying to be politically correct about that, but yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So, man, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to this live stream. I've had an absolute blast. And Azure asked, how do I think this Jane's Addiction thing will plan out? Only time will tell. I hope that they finish the tour. Perry Farrell reels it in. Look, dude, I'm not telling him to go to rehab. I'm not telling him to do anything. But, dude, reel it in. Reel it in. Wait till halfway through the show to have a glass of wine. You want to be a professional? You want to play a show and play rock star? And you have the halfway point in the show. You get through that. You have your guy bring you out a glass of wine. And you take a sip and you do a song. And you do another song and you take a sip. And you finish the show. At the end of the show, you down that glass of wine, and then you go back to your room or in your bunk, and you sleep it off. You want to get through the tour? That's how you do it. Not, and if you want to go to rehab after the tour, feel free, bro. But you guys got to reel it in. Thank you, everybody. Big ups to everybody. Thank you all. We got a little bit of Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We want the funk. You got a real type of thing going down, get down. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't want to get copyright strike. I don't want to get no copyright strike on me. Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Y'all have a good one. Love ya. Mean it.